Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, gonna be a match between Reynor and NEEB here on Berlingrad. Bottom right, we've got Reynor, and in the top left, we have NEEB under his Smurf name Neeblet, which isn't much of a Smurf name, but I don't know, it's kind of cute. Alright, man, so this is gonna be your Sunday cast for the StarCraft 2. This is from Stay at Home Story Cup number 2 from 2021, and it's a super long macro game. I'm not entirely sure why, but we can experience that together. Hit that like button if you're excited for a super long ZVP featuring Reynor and NEEB. Usually super long ZVPs with NEEB are against Scarlet, but let's see how he does here against Reynor, blocking the natural. Reynor says, fine, I'll throw it on a hatch at the third expansion. And it's a gateway expand from NEEB, not a cannon rush. Hello, dog. Just putting one paw on the creep. Oh, okay. 4 paws on the creep here. Probes are big, man, if that is a full-grown dog. And so are drones. I feel like before I thought that I could take a drone in a fight, but I don't know. Those claws are pretty darn large. Anywho, what are we looking at here today? Nothing too insane there at all. What's been going on in the world? I mean, some things, but nothing that I really want to talk about. I've been watching the latest season of The Expanse. Ooh, and Attack on Titan, which are both pretty big things. Expanse on Prime Video, it's good. I really like Expanse. It's been asking some interesting questions. It's been having some interesting stuff. The space battles, I just really love the space battles because they're realistic. You don't have, you know, green lasers and red lasers flying everywhere, and it feels like it's more grounded in what space combat will be when we get to that point, which we're trying to get to that point. Let's make no mistake about that. I like The Expanse a lot. Attack on Titan is bonkers. Banana Pants, I mean, that I'm not sure if it's a new season or the second half of the last season, but whatever. I mean, whatever they did on their last run back in 2021 was crazy, and I really enjoyed it, and it really makes you think about stuff, and you can't ask for much more from entertainment, I don't think. Anyway. Reynor getting his third base into the natural base. We'll call that the natural from now on. It's a Stargate coming up from NEEB, because what else are we going to do here? Now, for those of you who maybe haven't been around StarCraft 2 as long as some of us have, NEEB has the potential to win premier tournaments. He does. He's done it before. He's taken down some huge names in StarCraft. He's looked unbeatable at times. Yet, he hasn't done that for a few years now. So, NEEB, I think, is capable of it. I just don't think he's committed enough to StarCraft to be that dude all the time. I get it. It's a lot of work. It's honestly a ton of work. But he still plays. Like, it's weird. He has enough passion to continue competing in StarCraft 2. But not, like, so much passion that he's putting 18-hour days in on this thing, I think is the whole concept. Anyway, depth checks to see saturation at the natural base. I guess that's a weird thing to scout. Of course there's going to be drones here, but whatevs. And Oracle on the way. This Oracle's name is Sneaky Grass Zealot, the master of avoiding Reapers everywhere. Sneaky Grass Zealot was renowned across all of Ire and even among the Dark Templar for his uncanny ability to find weird places on maps from which he could take on a Reaper and win. The power that he realized, the powers that be realized a Protoss of his stealth would be a great asset to their Oracle fleet. So when he was sleeping, they strapped him into the glowing marble, and he now performs scouting duties for the day long. Very nicely done. Got 1 kill already. Sneaky Grass Zealot. That is a reference to a previous cast that I did, wherein a Zealot was hiding in high grass. So a Reaper couldn't hit him from distance because he couldn't see him. So you'd have to poke into the high grass to see if the Reaper was still there, or the Zealot was still there, and the Zealot would get a hit off on the Reaper. So hilarious stuff. I have no idea what game that's in, but somebody might remember and put it in the comments, and then I'll pin that one, and you can go back and watch that if you want. We'll timestamp it for you. So Oracle ends up getting 1 kill. Ooh, Oracle has a friend. Sneaky Grass Zealot and friend. Little +1 scenario there. Anywho's. NEEB's getting a third base up. He's got a Void Ray following. The Overlord sees the Void Ray. So the question is NEEB going to go for the Sky Toss stuff? Or he's going to go for the ground army. Robo facility's a little bit early. Maybe going for a robotics facility here. Just cast Revelation on his own. Oh, on a creep tumor, I guess. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. Adept, how many will get out? The answer is 3. Wait, maybe 4? Oh, I guess there were 5. So 4 of them get out. 1 of them dies, and then the rest recall back home after transporting to the third base and scouting the saturation there, which is really heavy. I mean, Reynor has a ton of workers. 62. NEEB's at 54. His third base is just now done. Reynor is crazy good at the macro. He will have 1 million workers and just enough army units to defend against stuff that comes and tries to kill him. Also, his link timings are generally pretty good. But at this point, not much to do for these guys. Like, the third base is already up. There's a shield battery. There's a depth to defend it. Everything's fine. Roach Warren. The question is, are we going to use the roaches for offense, or are these defensive is the question. Oracle's going to stand in here, not die, but get very close to it. 13 HP, but 4 kills there for Sneaky Grass Zealot. Excellent. Reynor's fourth base is coming up. I mean, NEEB's fourth base. No, that is Reynor's. Reynor's fourth base is coming up. Wow. Creep spread insanely good from Reynor today. This is looking excellent. Stay-at-home Story Cup is a weird tournament because a lot of the time the players aren't taking it super seriously. Some of them have been drinking. It turns it into a bit of a sloppy tournament at parts too, which makes it fun. So again, I don't know how on earth this game goes for a long time, and I guess we will figure it out. Zerglings poke it in. They see, okay, there's an Immortal. There are a couple sentries here. We are going ground army. Some Zealots warp in here too. Disruptor coming in. There is ye old Templar Archives here too. So at this stage, we are going to get a ground army for NEEB. Is he going to stick on that forever? I'm going to say probably not. We might end up seeing a couple more Stargates tossed down, and then a couple, or a Fleet Beacon get warped in too, and that'll tell us what's going on. Oracle, man. 6 kills, 2 more drone kills. This is some beautiful Oracle play. So you're like, I've killed 6 drones, but then you look over and there's 81 workers on the field for Reynor, and you're like, yes, he can absorb all of the worker losses, it seems. Reynor's very good at that, actually. He's incredible at taking worker losses at this stage and then just being like, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. Reynor's got a 5th base coming up. Yep. 5th base coming up. NEEB's taking a 4th at the 12 o'clock. I mean, this is partially how we get a crazy macro game, is both players are just allowed to macro forever, right? Reynor's not doing a queen walk. NEEB's got going for like a 3-base mass zealot void ray kind of a thing. Nope. Both players are just pretty content to let the other one mac up, which usually doesn't bode all that well for Protoss, right? If you just let somebody like Reynor get up to a maxed out army in, 9 minutes, can be dangerous. He forced a cancel at that 12 o'clock base that NEEB was trying to get in. Zealots have speed, though, and they are right inside your very undefended third base location. Going to take down a queen. No, the transfuses and the Ling saved the day. Nicely done there. I'm assuming Oracle flew in there and died. Let's take a look. No, Zealots actually popping in. Once again, also dying to roaches. Okay, so good defense here from Reynor. I don't know when the Oracle died, but rest in peace, Sneaky Grass Zealot. Or maybe, no, this is Sneaky Grass Zealot. Friend of Sneaky Grass Zealot is dead. That's what happened. All right, well, NEEB, yep, Archons, Zealots, Adepts, Immortals, Disruptors here. He's got a splash damage. He's got his anti-Ling style stuff. He's got charge lots. He's got everything he needs here to deal with this composition that Reynor is going for. So it is groundy stuff. I like how the roaches come in, kill. Did they get a disruptor kill there? No, just got a pylon. That was a weird place for a pylon, though, I guess. Whatever. Ooh, Nidus and a lurker's coming in too. Reynor's going lurker Nidus in the ZVP. What is that all about? Tres interesantes. These roaches are dead. Because they're dealing with, oh man, everything. The entire Protoss army killed them with prejudice. These roaches are dead because they got charged into a corner and killed. Charge lot's pretty good on roaches if they can get surrounds. The way you handle them is backing your roaches into an encramped, like a cramped position. where the Zealots can't get that full surround. Nidus, oh, it's a beautiful Nidus location. That is so unstoppable. Purification Novas, they do not hit. Nice splits here. Lurker's getting some spines down. Nova doesn't catch anything there either. And guess what? Now there's Lurkers inside their main base. Gonna warp in some units and try to deal with this. Burrow these Lurkers. Just burrow them where they are. No, Reynor does not actually burrow those ones. Okay, that's bad. And then these ones die because Immortals clear them out. Actually, this one is still alive, causing some problems. That one's dead. Wow, that was a fairly fail Nidus Lurker play there from Reynor. I'm not... Ugh. It's not great. I mean, 5 probes died, which is cool, but so many Lurkers died too. We're going to send in Zerglings and Roaches this time. Force you to warp in some Zealots here. If you're not going to kill my Nidus, I'm going to keep bringing the pain, Reynor says. And by that, I mean your charge loss are going to eat everything that is coming out of this Nidus. Really no problem at all. And that's kind of a fail move. Yeah, so NEEB's like, well, I guess I'll just wander down this way and take down your 5th base. How does that sound? Great. These Roaches trying to come up and do something? No. I don't know. That Roaches just, they have a hard time paying for themselves. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, but guess what? There are carriers on the way. There's a fleet beacon over here. We knew it. We knew it. Let's see how long it takes Reynor to figure out what's going on. He doesn't know about the fleet beacon. You didn't get over here. He doesn't know about the other Stargate either. He knows there's 2, though. That's a pretty good indication of what we're dealing with. He doesn't have... Oh, he does have a Spire. Cool. So he has a Spire. He can make Corruptors as necessary. Gonna try to get something done with this whole Lurker Roach Hydra stuff. Lings, Lurkers, Roaches. Gonna lose a couple Warp Gates here. NEEB, is he though? Is he going to? Oh, Disruptor wanders down, died. 2 Lurkers died at Purification Novas. That's not ideal at all. Lurkers trying to get some hits off. They don't do bonus versus Archons, but the Hydras certainly do very well against them. A couple Zealots wandering into Reynor's 4th base. They take down a Spine and then start going after drones. The carriers show up. There's not enough Hydras to stop that from happening. So this is a Zerg army that's going to have to back on out. The carriers arrive. They totally saved the day. And that's it, man. Yeah, Hydras are going to work. If there's only like, okay, 3 carriers, maybe 4 carriers is where Hydras really do work against carriers. But when it starts turning into like 7, 8, 9 carriers, that's when the Hydras just die. Also, charge lots are pretty good here too. There's no splash damage, but charge lots against Hydras are amazing. That's when now there are Roaches to deal with the Zealots. It's, you know, it's a very complicated little dance and back and forth they're going for here. Yeah, carriers pulling back to the shield battery. Getting back some of that HP really quickly, which is excellent and very, very nice. Reynor never ended up losing this base, actually, so nice job by him. Still at 86 total workers. This thing is at 13 minutes, and I feel like we're nowhere done with it yet. Yeah, so Warp Gate... Oh, these Warp Gates did end up dying after all. Okay, a couple Warp Gates still go down. Not a huge deal. This little constant charge lot stuff is very good in PvZ these days. If you're a Protoss player struggling against Zerg, just get charged for Zealots and send them to random bases every once in a while. Send 5 or 6 of them every once in a while, right? And it will be really hard for the Zerg player to deal with it, and they'll have to invest in some static defense, which they hate doing. And then you will win. That's how this works. So going Viper, so that's another thing. Your Hydras work even better if you can abduct individual carriers into your Hydra group. Ooh, that's a bitter hit. That's a 0 hit. But yay, Purification Novas are free units, right? Free units. Reynor taking the 6 o'clock for his 6th base, which is all sorts of appropriate. NEEB is warping out in a 5th base at the 9 o'clock position. He is making, well, Reynor's making some Corruptors now, more Lurkers, +1 flyer attack, where +2s are getting researched by the Protoss. I mean, these Lurkers are not going to kill this quickly, but they're doing their best with it. I'm really surprised there isn't a response from NEEB, because he's more worried about this Hydra army, which this carrier group is starting to get pretty dicey. Is he gonna? No. Yeah, okay, so 3 Zealots and an Observer. That's enough to deal with these Lurkers, absolutely. I mean, they're previously bruised, so that's nice. But big attack here from NEEB up at this 5th base location. Nah, he does get the hatch. He finishes it off. He heard it earlier, now he totally kills it, takes it down. Well played by NEEB. Just poke it in. There's not a lot of creep spread out here. You can poke in and get out of there without Reynor necessarily being aware or being able to chase you down. Additional, yeah, some cannons and shield batteries coming up. Ling Lurker trying to deal with this. They're not just focus down the Nexus and not really care what happens to them otherwise. And yeah, that's a Nexus down. So Reynor's got a massive lead in this game. He has knocked NEEB down to 4 bases. Well, from 4 bases to 3 bases, and then from 5 bases to 4 bases here, while kind of keeping his thing going. Income is very blue over the last 10 minutes. Not doing as blue as it was 5 minutes ago, but still. NEEB losing a base is not going to help with that by any stretch. He's lost 10 probes to 23 drones. Resources lost are 18,000 to 27,000. Reynor's lost a ton more, but he's got more income. He can afford it. So Corruptor Ball ready to go. There are no Void Rays, so the Corruptor Ball is going to do better. Oh, he thought he could one-shot the carrier, and he couldn't do it. Yeah, interesting. No Void Ray Sky Toss here. Oh, he's got 1, I guess. I don't know where it is. Oh, it's in the middle of that composition. Neat. And remember what I said about sending Zealots everywhere? It's great. Your whole army's at the south. Send a group of Zealots up to the north. Bring an Archon with them. How's about? How's that sound? Good, good. Trying to throw up a Spore Crawler force down here to the south is Reynor. Yeah, that hatch is dead. Nicely done. It's another Abduct, and still not enough to one-shot. Needs a couple more Corruptors for that, or better upgrades, I suppose. Look at NEEB going for +3 flyer attack, air attack. And Reynor's still only at +1. Not even working on +2 yet. Creep spread, pushing, pushing, pushing all around. Zealots heading on to the south, burrowing some Lurkers in to deal with it. They don't kill Lurkers incredibly fast, but hey, any DPS helps in a situation like this. Might even save the life of your queen. And it totally did. Finding an Overlord to murder, nicely done. That was a scouting Overlord, that was his job. NEEB taking his own 6th base now at the 1 o'clock position. He's got his 5th base up and rolling. Cannons, shield battery, ready to go. Zealots making sure the 5th base of Reynor here in the top right is not easily rebuilt. This has been pretty good, man. So feedback on the Viper, but not before it abducts and another carrier goes down for free, effectively. Right, so 5 carriers have died. Resources lost are now 23,000 for NEEB to 31,000 for Reynor. Top right base not happening, as I mentioned previously, and Reynor just kind of wandering about. So Berlingrad has a lot of places to expand. He's working on +3 missile attack. I guess he's really planning on relying on these Hydras for a bit longer than I'd like him to. I mean, I guess there isn't any storm. Oh, just kidding. There's tons of storm. I'm a liar. There's a bunch of storm. The Hydras are going to be in trouble, and the 5th base of Reynor dies for like the 3rd time today. Okay, the 2nd time, but still. Roach Lurker Hydra here trying to take down NEEB's 9 o'clock base. Storm defending that pretty adeptly, if I do say so myself. No adepts, just the Storm. Mothership warping in from Ire or Shakuras or wherever the current... Nice feedbacks. That's where the energy's been going, is somewhat into Storms, but mostly into feedbacks, it seems like. Lurkers trying to do their best here, but you know, Lurkers are a little bit like Hydras, and that they're glass cannons. They hit hard, but if they're taking damage, they die fairly quickly to anything that hits them for the most part. So you gotta watch out for that. NEEB retaking this top right 1 o'clock base. Again, Reynor's 5th base dies. bottom left for Reynor, coming up with another hatchery there. He's like, maybe this is a safer place to expand than this 5th location where that hatch has died a bunch of times. 3 hatcheries have gone down today. 1 Nexus has died. I think we got to cancel. Reynor got to cancel up there too once. Zealot scouting around. They do find this bottom left space of Reynor's. They're going to hack away at it. They've got +3 attack. They could take it down. They believe in the power of their own Psy Blades. Look at them go. Look at them go. Look at them trying to kill this. Oh, they didn't bring detection. If they brought detection with them, they could have done this. Ah, well. Lurkers used for base defense. Dark Shrine in production here. Purification Nova. Nice Lurker split, but again, see how there's nothing helping them out? They die. They are squishy. So I wonder if we're going to mine this whole map out. That would be fun. We have not seen a game where the entire map gets mined out in some time. I think maybe since a NEEB Scarlet game. Or yeah, I remember that one. There was a NEEB Scarlet game where there were absolutely zero big army confrontations at all. It was little pickoffs here and there, and eventually there was one final battle at the end. It was like 42 minutes. See, I guess if you have 10 lurkers, you could do pretty well in this situation. Look, you can kill immortals. Not with shield battery overcharge, you can't, though. Yeah, regular shield battery healing, you totally can, yes. Corruptors are trying to get over here without getting stormed into oblivion. It would be interesting if Storm actually showed up on top of Corruptors instead of underneath them, so it would feel like they're actually taking the damage instead of like, I stormed underneath you. It just, visually, it just feels wrong, you know? Reynor's spending quite a bit of drones on static defense in his bottom left space. Makes sense. He still has 60 workers, though. This is a fine number. He's getting a bank. He's maxed out. This has been a lot more action-packed than that NEEB versus Scarlet game, I can tell you that much. It's Reynor, though. Like, Reynor is not someone who is going to really just sit back and defend, right? Hydras, lurkers, beautiful storm. Mortal has to wait his turn to get healed up by the shield battery, but oh no! Shield batteries are out of energy. Corruptors continually just trying to be like, there's enough Corruptors to one-shot a mothership. Plus, they do have +2 attack on the flyer. +3 is on the way, as well as +3 flyer Carapace. Yeah, so you're taking some feedbacks and some storms to basically one-shot carriers and motherships. Seems fair. Honestly, it does. We've got kind of 2 theaters of war here. The Skytoss army just getting obliterated. Wow! NEEB is down to 1 Void Ray that can fly right now. Every carrier has died. Every mothership he's made has died. He's working on some Tempest, but I don't know if they're going to do much better. Zealots continuing to do their thing wherever Reynor's army is not. And killing a Spore Crawler Forest will help with future attacks, where a Spore Crawler Forest would be nice for Reynor. Alrighty then. What else do we got going on? More roaches at 23 minutes. An interesting place to go for roaches. It's like the carriers are gone. It's time for roach. I guess that makes sense. Man, how many lurkers have died today? 37 have gone down. Whew. Told you they're a little squishy. Army tries to come down this way. I feel like they should be able... There's 2 spines here. I guess there's lurkers, though. There's detection. Kill the observer. You have to kill the... snipe the observer, Corruptors. That's all you're good for anymore. Lurkers poking around NEEB's 1 o'clock base, finding an angle where they can mess with probes. That's kind of nice. Oh, and he baits this Archon into those lurkers. See how many lurker spines it takes to kill an Archon quickly? Crazy. Yeah, man, this is going great for Reynor at this 1 o'clock position. Zealots continue to wander on in. They're killing Hydralisks that are trying to join the front lines in the top right. That's not going well for them at all. And there's a Queen that maybe could die, but the Zealots decide to leave her alone. Oh, because there's lurkers chasing them. Reasonable point. And now, see these lurkers? All very dead. 15 probes down, yes, and there we go. Bringing in 2 spines is not enough to save the day here. I'm sure you can't see the lurkers very well if your observer is scared of moving in here, but you know, you can storm them even if you can't see them. And by golly, bottom left place by Reynor gonna die here too. So 16, 18, 19 drones die, 26 probes and 49 drones have gone down in 24 minutes. And Reynor's 5th base is going to die again. This is turning into quite a match, I gotta say. I didn't know what I necessarily expected, but it is way more ground army than I thought for a game of this magnitude. I mean, sure, Skytoss army. Oh, his Tempests are dead. He's got a mothership. Did he lose the Tempests, or did they just get canceled? I'm pretty sure he just canceled the Tempests. Fairly sure that's what happened, yes. Top right base, 1 o'clock base goes down for NEEB, but guess what? The 6 o'clock base for Reynor is out too. So my gosh, it is a base massacre. 7 hatcheries have gone down this far. NEEB is doing a great job. If you're going to beat an elite Zerg player, one of the ways to do it is get 10 plus hatcheries killed if it's a longer game. I mean, there are a lot of things you can do to beat them fast, but if it's a game that oh my gosh, the Void Rays though. If it's a longer match, then guess what? Killing 10 hatcheries is a good way to go. Not that it's a guarantee. There have definitely been games that I've cast where 10 hatcheries plus have died, and then the Zerg player wins anyway, just because they're making insanely good trades. And this is not really one of those. Reynor's lost 50,000 resources, NEEB's lost 42,000. So the Zerg player not being as cost efficient. He's taking down the Nexus at the natural base of NEEB that is honestly completely mined out anyway. Getting this pylon would be pretty good. Can you depower all of these? Oh, he's waiting for the... Oh, we can one-shot the Void Rays when they pop out. Oh, that is so disgusting. I think he lost 1 Corruptor there and just killed 5 Voids. Why kill the pylon if you can just snipe the Void Rays instantly? That's what I always say. NEEB still on a rampage. Can't really deal with these Corruptors out here, but where the heck is the ground army? NEEB is going for more Void Rays. Ah, Reynor takes the 1 o'clock position that he stole from NEEB and retakes his own 5th. So this is good for him. He's given up on the bottom left, it looks like, and he's going to take the top right instead. Incub going back up into NEEB's favor, but he needs... Man, there it is. He needs this bottom left base. He's going to take it. Yeah, this is definitely a pretty fantastic ZVP. Not quite what we've gotten from ZVPs recently. It's nice. It's nice that it's different, you know? Abducting Archons into Ling Lurker traps. Never good. Never good for the Archons. Really not a ton of anti-air here from NEEB either. I feel like a big Muta Ball. The kind of magic boxes the Archons would kill everything here. The High Templar are a concern, as they always are, if you're dealing with a Protoss player. Boom, boom, boom. Going for Flux Veins. A little bit late, but, you know, that's okay. Flux Veins, speeding up them Void Rays, because, you know, they need more speed. That's what they need in everyone's lives, is faster Void Rays. Their base speed isn't enough. NEEB's got a decent bank. Reynor's really starving for gas and only has 600 minerals right now. This must be a game where the better trades straight up win. Reynor's really not been able to get an income advantage over on NEEB at all, as NEEB is warping in a home away from home in the bottom left for his, I believe this would be a 7th base. Actually, 8th base, if you count the ones that he's taken already. That's pretty good. Duck Void Ray down. Takes the feedback. You know, Reynor's trying to come back and being more cost efficient with the abducts. I figured he'd be doing better, but like not quite enough to offset the other losses that he's taken, I think. Bunch of speedlings cruise on in. They do not have Adrenal. They've got, what? My gosh. +2 Carapace, no attack upgrades, and no Adrenal Glands. There's little Ling run bys. Ow, just running through that storm. Not as good as you'd want them to be at 29 minutes. Again, Lings have not been a huge part of his compositional choices. So it makes sense he doesn't have great upgrades for them. But then, if you ever need to make 30 of them, it's better to have the upgrades. He just doesn't have really the resources to spare. It's 200 just to get Adrenal alone. And sure, he can afford it, but how many units is that he can't make if he goes for 200 there, you know? Oh, Storm helped kill that Disruptor more than anything else, man. That was pretty brutal. Ba-dum, boom. 191 at 200 supply. NEEB still has that better bank. Reynor just completely gas starves, continually making Hydras and Lurkers, which are very, very gas heavy on the cost. Abducts, subducts, kills a couple of Void Rays, backs out, takes a Storm. You can regenerate that damage. You can bring it back. Are we going to... My gosh. NEEB's taking the 6 o'clock too. Dude, if Reynor can't stop this and take it for his own... I mean, how much does it really matter? It's about 1,300 gas here and around 2,000 minerals. I don't know, dude. I like that when Disruptors get abducted, they go into like a tighter little compact version of themselves. I guess it's the version that they're in when they have shot a Nova out. I guess that's more what it is. You catch it when the Nova's out, it's going to be more compact. All right, cool. Figured it out. So yeah, production's really slowed down. Both players are maxed out. There's really not much to do that way. Upgrades, I mean, I would love to see Reynor get Adrenal Glands. Because he's got some Lings. He's got 20 Lings out right now. They could benefit from upgrades, but we're going to spend our resources on Spines to keep this 1 o'clock position safe, because if that dies, Reynor's in a lot of trouble. Dude, is NEEB going to take down Reynor? Look, Reynor won the de facto world championship last year. For 2021, it was in Katowice, and Reynor defeated Trap to get that world championship. So the fact that just a few months after that, NEEB's like, that's cool. I can take down the world champion in a PvZ. No big deal. Yeah, Lurker Trap, Abduct, Kill. Don't lose any Corruptors. Excellent. The trades are good. The quick unburrow, reburrow to dodge the Purification Nova. So this base, I don't know, keeping it alive is a huge deal. Zealots try to come in, but that's why you have your Spinecrawler Forest that Reynor was throwing up earlier. Ingenious stuff here. So NEEB's down, 190 to 164 supply. He's got enough money to build stuff. I'm not sure why he's not. Like, what are his plans? I don't get it. What? Oh, okay. So we just fired up 8 Tempests at a time. Interesting. Interesting attempt here. They are good against Lurkers because Lurkers can't shoot up. They're not great against getting abducted and murdered by Corruptors, though. They're pretty susceptible to that. I guess the Void Rays just keep getting abducted, too. I mean, I don't know if I would go with Tempest in this situation. I'd honestly go for something that makes the Corruptors borderline useless. Maybe I'd make some more Immortals in this situation. It's very Lurker Roach heavy right now, and Immortals just chew through both of those units really effectively. Yeah, and Lurker Spines are everywhere. Shield Battery Overcharge, not enough to save Zealots in that situation. No Siri. NEEB's got another army to the south just kind of hanging out. He's making Void Rays and he's making Oracle, so he's really kind of committing to these Sky Toss units to deal with this Lurker Roach Corruptor heavy comp that Reynor's going with. Abduct. Snipe. Abduct. Try to snipe again because you missed the first time. And NEEB's Nexus goes down at the 12 o'clock. But, I mean, we're at a point where certain bases can die and they don't mean anything. They're completely spent. There's no more money there to be had. Like, it's not even really important militaristically or strategically, right? Oh, Lurker Army gets the high ground position, and they're going to take down something. They're chasing these Immortals back into cannons. Really want to kill them. Shields, just single shield battery, but the cannons are a larger problem. Zergs are pretty squishy, even if they have the armor upgrades against cannons. And they don't even have the greatest armor upgrade. They've got 2, not even the 3. Top right base, the scary one that Reynor cannot afford to lose here. He needs it, so he's going to bring the Lurkers in. The Corruptors are going to abduct the Tempest and one-shot them in the face, and they're going to die again. They're not really doing a whole lot. I guess they could shoot at Vipers from a good distance anyway. Lurkers trying to decide what to do. Oh, they forced a recall down here to the 6 o'clock. All right. So that counts for something. Forcing a recall is a definite beneficial action here. So NEEB's back up to maxed out. He's making another mothership and 6 Void Rays. Resources lost. Look at this. NEEB's up to 57,000 and Reynor's at 59,000. Reynor's been making some incredible trades over the last 10 minutes or so. He was so down in that number for most of the match, and yet now he's using Abduct really judiciously. He's not losing a ton of units. NEEB might be going Fist of NEEB here. I mean, he's sacking some probes, so we're not going to call it yet. But the Fist of NEEB, for those who don't know, it's a older term from like 2011, which is 10 years ago now. I can hardly believe that. But basically, there was a match he had where he killed all of his own probes except for 1, and all of his supply except for 1 was army. He had 1 probe left, and he won with it. It is crazy. Look up Fist of NEEB on YouTube. You'll find it. It's great. So he's not killing all of his probes, because he still has some bases he's mining from. But once these are mined out, I don't know. Wait and see. You wait and see. So 26 probes died, but those are entirely... That was NEEB sacrificing his own little robots there for the good of making 3 more oracles, I guess. And more sky tossy things here, too. Oh, that's an Abduct dead. Even if it's 2 hits, the Abduct is far enough away that the Corruptors can get in there and hit it. These drones are trying to kill an assimilator, which is hilarious. 10 spores at a time on the way. All right, so we're taking this seriously. Yeah, why did he spore this up? There's 50 Vespene gas left here. Dude, Reynor's income is done. It's done. So he kind of has to go for it, doesn't he? So he's going for it. He's abducting. He's taking storms. He's killing what he can. Void Ray down. Those are not prismatically aligned. Nice parasitic bomb going down, too. There's the prismatic alignment on the Void Rays. The Corruptors can one-shot the Voids, but not for much longer. We're losing Corruptors here. You can hear their death sound. But if he wants to keep the Lurkers alive, he needs those Void Rays to die. More Void Rays joining the party. Those are full up on HP, which is going to make it a little bit easier. Once the Void Rays are down, then the Tempests need to get out of there. And the Oracles need to get out of there. The Oracles are already dying. The brand new Oracles that are just happening here. So yeah, Reynor, he doesn't have a bank. The income tab looks like this right now. Very red, very NEEB. And NEEB has the bank. He hasn't been insanely more cost efficient because look, it's 69,000 to 68,000 resources lost, but he's gathered more resources. That's why he's got 6,000 minerals in the bank when Reynor has 35. He just spent the last of his money on 7 more Corruptors, 8 more Lings, and 2 Vipers, which I bet he wishes he had those Ling upgrades now, don't you think? Reynor built a hatchery up here, which I guess for distraction purposes, it's not a terrible idea. I don't actually know. Dude, 195 to 129 supply. This is bad. This is really bad for Reynor. He's down 60 supply overall in army value alone. He doesn't have any income. NEEB's bases are effectively mined out, where it's probably not worth it to kill it and take it unless you can kill it without losing anything. Which, with the number of cannons we've got here, that's not really something we can expect, you know? We got NEEB casually throwing up 4 more Void Rays. It's 20 Corruptors, and it's going to be, oh my gosh, 22 Void Rays. I don't want to caster curse this thing, but I think NEEB's got it. He's got an advantage in numbers. He's got enough Void Rays to handle the Corruptor Ball that Reynor's rolling with, and then after that, it's just Lurker Hydra. I mean, just Lurker Hydra, right? Every Protoss player is like, I've died to Lurker Hydra 87 times. Shut up, Falcon. True, Lurker Hydra is strong, but once all the Corruptors are gone, then the Void Rays can just eat the rest of it. Especially if you've got some Storm in here. Storm soften up those Hydras a bit. Yeah, Reynor can't just straight up engage. There's just no way for him to do that. More Tempest on the way. NEEB, he's just one of the more patient Protoss players in the whole world. He is the one. Like, you watch a lot of StarCraft, the longest PvZs involve NEEB in some way. Whether it is against Reynor, whether it's against Scarlet. I guess Scarlet Estrella can have pretty long games too. So maybe it's just a North American thing where ZVPs can be really long as a North American is involved in them. I guess Spore Crawler Forest and Spine Crawler Forest is going to help here too. Alright, got 7 spines and 28 spores. So that's good. He doesn't have Tectonic Destabilizers. WTF, NEEB. Dude, oh, come on. You're late game PvZ with Tempests. You have to get it. If you don't get Tectonic Destabilizers, you missed. It's just like Reynor not getting Adrenal Glands. He also missed. He made 261 lings. The Tempest death count is 4. And he's got 6 of them and 2 more on the way. You have the money for it. Tectonic Destabilizers. It's on the fleet beacon. It means you do bonus damage to buildings from your Tempest, and dealing with the Spore Crawler Forest is exactly what that is. You know this. You've been here before. He's got the Overlords in to absorb hits. I kind of like that. Using the Overlords for distractionary purposes. Dude, NEEB just killed. NEEB's going Fist of NEEB, everybody. He's got 2 probes remaining. He's maxing out his army value. 184 army supply. Fist of NEEB. Fist of NEEB. If he had Tectonic Destabilizers, these spores would be so much easier to kill. I bet he's thinking that right now. He's like, man, if I had that upgrade, it's so awesome. But he could afford it. Whatever. He doesn't feel like he needs it, I guess. I guess that's what's going on. Whatever. This probe is trying to die by killing a hatchery. Trying to draw some attention of some Zergs to come and murderize it, so NEEB only has 1 probe, but this is Fist of NEEB. 2 probes is the same thing. 184 army supply is the same thing. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with the Tempest stuff here because Tempest outrange everything that the Zerg has. It's just having Tectonic Destabilizers means that you can do a lot better, like much better against these spores, which does NEEB just think that's not a requirement? He can win this thing without that upgrade because, once again, he can afford it. He's just choosing not to. Up killing the hive. He's like, look, man, I'll just kill your buildings, I guess. Oh, Shield Battery Haven over here taking some hits. That's the other thing. NEEB's got these shield batteries to fall back to. And these lurkers, can they make it out in time? I don't know. Spores are trying to burrow on the front. I just don't see a path forward here. Ah, Reynor decides he's going for it. Storms over all of the things. Revelation on everything too. Void Rays popping. And that's your GG. NEEB is your winner in 44 minutes and 16 seconds. Yeah, Reynor was like, look, I cannot. This is going to get worse for me as the time goes on, so I'm just going to try to come forward as I can. Try to be ready when these lurkers pop out of stasis. Do you think they died instantly, or did they were allowed to burrow? They all died instantly. All right, cool. They tried, and then, yeah, the Overlords came in to absorb shots, but nah. It was not enough, and GG. That was a great ZVP. 2 workers remaining for NEEB, mining out the entire map of Berlingrad, which is not easy. And yeah, fantastic. He ended up doing, hey, magic number, 9 hatcheries and a hive went down. So that's how you want to do it. You want to beat a Zerg player, kill their hatcheries. 5 Nexuses died, however, which is a bit of an issue. 29 Void Rays, 3 motherships. But ended up killing 42 Corruptors. Holy smokes. 34 Spores, 76 Lurkers went down. Is so many Lurkers. That is so many Lurkers to die. And it's only, what, 5 Immortals, 19 Archons. Like the big ticket tier 3 stuff here for NEEB. He didn't lose 76 of anything. He lost all his carriers, which sucks. Those are expensive. But that is just some good trades. Remember how it was close? It was close. It was like within 1,000 resources lost for a bit there. Yeah, end of the game, 81,000 lost for Reynor and 72,000 for NEEB. That's, yeah, the final 5 minutes went very well. Very well for NEEB. You can see when he mined out, too, because he's like, la, 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 and blah. Nobody has an advantage because nobody's mining anything. All right. So great back and forth stuff here. I mean, that's, man, beautiful. Very, very good from both players. And overall, I think that was a great PVZ. I kind of want to epic tag it. I want to Fist of NEEB tag it, actually, is what I'd like to do. So you'll probably see that before you watch the cast. But anyway, good stuff. I mean, overall, just keeping Reynor from getting more than half of the map done and killing his stuff, too, so he has less than half of the map extra done, and then you win the game. As long as you're not stupid. So GG. And that is going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.